welcome back to Crimson Glass on YouTube. My name is Melissa, aka Lissy Love, and you are watching my February 15th, February 16th, 2020 site and story status update. These are posts that I have done on the site pretty much since the beginning, just kind of like a check-in with my readers. Like, I have lots of projects going on, or sometimes like I'm not posting a lot, so like I like to check in and just say, hey, here's where we are. And I'm going to still be posting those. I posted one yesterday at Crimson Glass, but I'm going to be filming them as well because some of you guys, I think, do prefer like just having this on and not having to read. If you like either one, you'll have it. So, first things first, I do this in two categories, two big sections. One is site status, and the other one is the story status. So site status won't take that long. So Crimson Glass is basically done the way that it's set up, the way I wanted to do. The only thing left to really figure out is ebooks. It's because the ebook editor I'm using is not so, I don't really like it. It's like a huge learning curve. It's not really user friendly. And I'm working on a different one. I'm looking in the Scrivener 3, but like it's still in beta, so I don't really want to mess with that until it comes out of release. So I know I've got book 2 of Mad World in my production schedule for this quarter by end of March. Still shooting to have that happen. There's no reason it can't happen. I just have to find an editor, sit down for a weekend and get it done. So like I'm not too mad about it. I still got about 6 weeks before that has to be in. So that's site status. The other thing that's for the site is like I don't do a lot of the housekeeping, like the recent update pages and like alphabetical story lists, and some of the stuff hasn't been tagged. Like I have to do some housekeeping, but by and large, the site features are pretty much where they're going to be. The other one is channel status. You have probably already noticed if you come to the channel a lot, I am doing a soft relaunch of the channel. I have learned a lot about making videos in the last 2 months. I think that I am more comfortable standing in front of my computer and talking at you guys. I think if you watch the first few, I'm really, I don't know if I'm stilted. I don't know. I feel weird. I'm happier with looking at looking at myself on a camera, which was never a strong suit, and listening to the sound of my own voice, which was really trippy at first. And now I'm like, I'm at one with it. My cat is wandering in and out of those videos, and like, there's no thumbnails on those videos, and the backdrop is wildly inappropriate and sometimes. So we are upstairs in my study, and this is going to be the backdrop going forward. It might change a little bit when my desk is set up. Right now I have a like desk stand and then like an ottoman and then my computer just so I can get the right height. I am standing where I've been standing now for an hour making videos. So channel status is I am going to be not archiving my old stuff, but they're going to be pulled off the main page and put into playlists that are less visible. They'll still be here. I'm still really proud of them. I learned a lot making them, but like I go back and look at my older stuff and I felt like I 2 months old sitting around bashing my stories, and like that is not fun for anybody. So I want to reapproach what I'm doing with that, and I want to get into the idea of making like weekly content. So I'm going to try and do what I do on my Patreon. I do a Patreon channel. I have a Patreon page where they get a lot of early access. They got an early access to an entire scene from Broken Girl. And once a week, they get videos about, hey, the writing update, and sometimes they get 2, depending on how writing's going. And then I do a series for them for, I'm doing Mad World Discovery, like step by step, the process. I want to do something similar here on the channel. So we are going to be doing a thing with damage, which I will get into when we talk about damage. These site and story statuses once a month, once every other month. And then I want to add like a third thing. I'm not really sure yet. I'm not super watching the show right now, and it's not necessarily because the show's not good. Like I know that the new writer has started, and I have seen a few episodes, and it is more watchable than it used to be. But I just haven't worked it back to my regular schedule yet. I haven't even been watching Days of Our Lives. Like I fell out of that in December, not because the show's not good. It's just like my routine has been up, down, and I'm working on it. So channel status wise is we're doing a soft relaunch, and I'm working on adding some like more regular content that's a little bit less. I hate everything I've written before. We're trying. So that is that. So that's 4 minutes of my site status, and then we just did the channel status. Now let's talk about the stuff you're really here for, my stories. We're going to talk about those in 3 sections. We're going to talk about first what's in progress, then up next, and like the world ahead. So first, in progress. So in progress is anything I am drafting or in the middle of discovery. So drafting, I am in the trenches, I am writing, and discovery is I am planning it. It's the next project on the board. So in progress for drafting, Broken Girl, you guys are aware of this. If you don't follow me on Twitter, you should. I will link it below in the description. Because I'm really funny. I just had a viral tweet for South Park, 3.7 thousand likes. I don't know why. It was really weird, and I'm actually kind of uncomfortable that that was just weird. But I talk a lot about soap operas. I talk a lot about writing. I talk about smashing the patriarchy. There's some politics in there too, so just like, right? But when I say I talk about writing, I mean you get daily updates. Like I talk, here's how much I wrote today, and here's just like stuff I can't quite remember to post all the time. I also post snippets of scenes, so there's that. Um, and it's a really, if you want to ask me a quick question, that's usually a great way to do it. So it's at Crimson Glass. Pretty easy to remember. Like I love that Twitter handle. So, Broken Girl is going pretty well. Pretty well. I had originally set a date of March 14th to finish it and have the alpha draft done. And then January happened. And then January was terrible. Terrible. I had a really bad time at school. I did get a really nasty cold that, like, I wasn't sick enough to be out of school, but I was really too tired to do anything else. The story wasn't clicking. I wasn't feeling it. I was starting to, like, you know, you get that moment where I started to doubt everything about myself as a writer. And just like, I was not having a great month. And then February hit, and my students had a couple of good weeks. They had a bad week last week, but like the couple of good weeks really kind of got myself together. I've got a routine at school with my grading, and like my lesson plans are on, like I'm situated and organized that way. I moved into my writing space upstairs, which is where I've been writing all month. Like a lot of things started clicking in February, and Broken Girl started clicking in February in a way that I was not expecting. I started last week as about 38,000 words. I have 63,000 now. I have written almost 24,000 words in the last, like between 23 and 24 in the last 7 days. Like that's an average of 3,000 words a day. I have written every single day. My lowest day was 2,000 words. So that's really great. And I'm just like, I've made up a lot of that ground, and I'm just a little shy of where I wanted to be this month. I had set a date. I'd set a goal of wanting to be at chapter 14 by tomorrow. Chapter 14 today. And I'm at chapter 11. I'm 3 chapters behind. It's not a big deal because word count wise, I'm okay. So, Broken Girl has a soft release date like of May 12th, 2020, which is a Monday, for a Monday, Wednesday posting schedule. There are 29 chapters, which takes us through, I think, the end of August. So and then we'll get into the next book after that. Now, the reason why I call that a soft release date is because it could also go as early as May 5th, which is the week before, or it can go as late as May 19th. It depends on what is the last day, how much time between the ending of the story and Camp NaNoWriMo with Mad World 3 do I have. So if I finish on March 14th, or I finish around that date, not too much terribly, I'll have 2 full weeks to kind of look at edits and start thinking about how to break it down and how to make revisions. Or if I don't have a lot of revisions, like there are a lot of things that play with that, I won't really know until then, but the latest you're going to get it is May 19th. So that's that. Mad World Book 3, I am in the middle of outlining it now. I am outlining this today and over the next couple days probably, and then I'll be moving into plot sketch. And plot sketch is where I start breaking it down as in longer emotional beats, and then from there I go into chapter breakdown where we start breaking down scenes, and then I do my soundtrack. And all of that will be done by April 1st. And April 1st is Camp NaNoWriMo, which is different from November NaNoWriMo. In November, you set a 50K hard goal. That's how you win. In July and April with Camp NaNoWriMo, you just kind of set a goal. And my goal is going to be half of whatever my word count goal is. So the way I found my word count goal for the whole story is I take the number of chapters, I multiply it by 5. And I add 1,000 to it. So that's how I got Broken Girl. I had 29 chapters planned. I average between 4,000 and 6,000 chapters. 4,000 and 6,000 words per chapter. So an average in the middle there, 5 times 29, 145K. I'm thinking it's probably going to be around that for book 3. So I'll have that and make that my goal for Camp NaNoWriMo. So you have a firm release date of September 2nd because I want that to be starting the same time and finishing up in the fall the way that the last 2 books have. The plan is to have that mostly finished in May and June, and then to move on to Fool Me Twice book 1 for July Camp NaNoWriMo, which I will again have the word count. And July, actually, I think in July my goal might be to write a chapter a day because I won't have anything else to do. I won't have any kids. I won't have any lesson planning. Like, I'll be free. So your tentative soft release date for Fool Me Twice is December. Here is where we get into a problem. I had said Damaged would be my November NaNoWriMo, and I said that on the post yesterday, and I've been saying it all along. I don't know. I can't remember now which video, if I'm going to post. Damage is off the schedule for the moment. We're going to talk about why. It's going to be in another video. I'm going to talk about why in a minute. I just want to get like a little sick thinking about it. Damage is off the schedule. Give me a second. After that, my schedule's a lot more fluid. There's a lot of books I want to work on, and there's Damaged. I have already made a whole video about what I'm doing with Damaged. Damaged is going to be rebooted. We'll get into it. You should watch that video. It's like 8 minutes of me just it turns out the reason you haven't gotten season 3 of chapter in 5 years is because not just because the ending of season 2 is not working for me, it's because the whole thing doesn't work for me. And every time I open it to write it, like I love everything I've got planned, but I hate everything I've already written. It's terrible. So I think the Damage is still going to be on the schedule for November. I just don't think it's going to be on the schedule in the way that I envisioned. I will have more details for you on Thursday when I kind of get into it. I am relaunching the Damage series. Today's video, which I'm posting, is going to replace the other 2 videos. And it's going to be like rebooting Damage. And then we're going to start pulling apart Damage and talking about why I'm rebooting it in detail, what I want to keep, where I want the story to go. It's going to be like a Patreon level kind of access where I'm going to really take you inside my writing process. You may not want to watch it. It's probably going to have spoilers. But, you know, I think it's important. If I'm going to be throwing away basically 1,000 pages of work, we need to talk about it. I think the Damage is... There's format issues with that, and I'm going to get into it on that. I don't want to get into it here. But I think it's going to turn into more of a Mad World situation where it's a large ensemble story, but I'm going to have main characters, and characters are just like on the peripheries. And it might end up being like a trilogy or duology or something like that. I think that's what's going to happen with Damaged. Once Damaged is whatever I figure out what Damaged is done in November and that project is done, we're going to move into the next cycle of books. I have Broken Girl 2. I thought it was going to be a trilogy. It probably might end up being just 2 books. I don't know. I know I thought I knew, but now, like, the more I write, the more I'm like, I don't know if I really need a 3rd book. You know? And then definitely Fool Me Twice books 2 and 3 need to be written at some point. I also have Burns in Heaven, my sequel to A Few Words Too Many with Faith coming back. I have Malice, my sequel to Bittersweet, which I really do want to write. I got a lot of cool stuff for that. I have Feels Like Home, which is my alternative, like, future fic that's set in 2024, and we should probably write it before it becomes 2024, right? Lots of things on the horizon, lots of stuff going on. I'm so sorry that some of this feels a little loosey-goosey. It's because up until about an hour ago, I felt really sure about what I was going to do with Damaged. And then I started to make the relaunch of the video series, and it happened. I will see you guys next month, and we will have a more firm footing on all of this. So, that is your story and site status. Very terrible with S's sometimes. That is your story and site status for February 16th, 2020. Have a great month. I will see you in the first week of March. Bye.